Psalm 91 is often called the Psalm of Protection, and for good reason. It speaks directly to our need for safety, peace, and shelter in times of trouble. This powerful passage reassures us of God's unshakable protection over His people, offering comfort in moments of fear and uncertainty. Whether we're facing physical danger, emotional turmoil, or spiritual attacks, Psalm 91 reminds us that God is always present, offering us refuge under His wings. This psalm has stood the test of time, offering hope to generations of believers who have found peace and security in its words. Its timeless message is as relevant today as it was when it was first written. For those seeking divine protection, Psalm 91 is more than just a prayer. It's a promise from God Himself, a promise that He will be with us through life's most challenging moments. But what makes Psalm 91 truly powerful is the faith it calls us to have in God's ability to protect us. In a world full of uncertainty and fear, this psalm serves as a reminder that we are not alone, and that no matter what comes our way, God's protection surrounds us. That's why this prayer is so important to start your day. By grounding yourself in the truth that God is your protector, you can face anything with the confidence that He's with you every step of the way. Prayer is a powerful way to start each day, and Psalm 91 is one of the most potent prayers for seeking God's protection. As we wake up, we face a world full of challenges, both seen and unseen, and starting the day in prayer invites God's presence into our lives. Psalm 91 is not just words on a page. It's a declaration of faith, trust, and a reminder that we are not alone. The prayer in this psalm offers us a sense of peace, knowing that God's protection surrounds us from every side. In a world where dangers, anxieties, and uncertainties can overwhelm us, there is something profoundly comforting about starting the day by placing our trust in the hands of God. By reading or reciting Psalm 91 in the morning, we're declaring that our lives are in His care, that we trust in His ability to shield us, and that no matter what the day brings, He is our refuge. It's about taking a moment to center ourselves on His promises and power before the hustle of daily life takes over. Prayer sets the tone for our day and draws us closer to God, helping us to navigate the challenges of life with a sense of peace and assurance. When we start the day with prayer, we invite God's guidance and protection, and Psalm 91 is a perfect reminder of His unwavering commitment to keep us safe. It's a reminder that we don't have to face the day on our own strength, but can rely on His mighty power to protect us through every circumstance. Psalm 91 speaks deeply to the human heart, offering comfort and strength in a world that can feel chaotic and unpredictable. When we look at its verses, we see more than just promises of protection. We see a reflection of God's deep love and care for us. The opening verses speak of dwelling in the secret place of the Most High, which symbolizes a close, intimate relationship with God. To dwell there is to seek refuge in His presence, to make Him our ultimate source of security. The psalm then goes on to speak of God's protection from the dangers that lurk in the world: snares, pestilence, and the terror by night. These aren't just physical dangers, but can also symbolize emotional and spiritual challenges that threaten our peace and well-being. The beauty of Psalm 91 is that it reassures us that we are not left to face these dangers on our own. God promises that His faithfulness will be our shield, that He will cover us with His feathers, and that under His wings we will find refuge. This imagery of shelter under God's wings is powerful. It speaks to His loving protection, where we are safe from harm, safe from the world's pressures, and safe from fear. The psalm doesn't promise a life without trouble, but it promises that in the midst of trouble, God will be our refuge and fortress. We are invited to rest in that truth, knowing that no matter what we face, His protection is always available to us. This prayer isn't just for moments of crisis. It's a reminder to trust in God's ongoing care and to draw closer to Him every day, knowing that His protection surrounds us at all times. Trust is the cornerstone of Psalm 91. To truly experience the protection it offers, we must first place our complete trust in God. Trusting in God means that we believe He is who He says He is, our refuge, our fortress, our protector. It's more than just acknowledging His power. It's about surrendering our fear, worries, and control into His hands. Trusting in God's protection is like stepping into a safe place, a place where we know we are secure no matter what the world throws our way. When we trust Him, we acknowledge that He sees everything, every challenge, every threat, every danger, and that He is always one step ahead, orchestrating our safety. It's easy to say we trust God when everything is going well, but Psalm 91 calls us to trust Him fully, even in the face of the unknown. Trust isn't passive. It's active. It's choosing to believe that even when we can't see how things will work out, God's plan is still at work. When we trust God, we also trust in His timing, His decisions, and His ability to protect us from all harm. The trust that Psalm 91 encourages is a trust that goes beyond circumstances. It's a trust that believes in the ultimate goodness and faithfulness of God. No matter what we encounter in life, trusting in His protection means that we can move forward without fear, knowing that we are held securely in His care. This trust frees us from the burden of anxiety and allows us to walk confidently, knowing that we are never alone. Psalm 91 is filled with promises from God, and one of the most powerful of these promises is that He will keep us safe from harm. The psalm promises that we will be delivered from the snare of the fowler, a metaphor for the traps and dangers that life can throw at us. It speaks of God's faithfulness as our shield, providing us with a covering that protects us from both seen and unseen dangers. These verses are a reminder that God doesn't just watch from afar. He actively protects us, guiding us away from harm and shielding us from the things we cannot even see. His protection isn't just a passive safeguard. It's a powerful, active force that surrounds us. God promises that His angels will be given charge over us, to bear us up and keep us safe in all our ways. This divine protection goes beyond just physical safety. It includes spiritual and emotional protection as well. In moments of fear, doubt, or spiritual attack, Psalm 91 reminds us that God's protection is a constant, unshakable presence in our lives. When we trust in this promise, we can have confidence that no matter what we face, whether physical danger, emotional struggles, or spiritual warfare, God is right there with us, watching over us and keeping us safe. His promises are not conditional. They are guaranteed to those who dwell in His presence and trust in His care. This promise of safety is not just a comfort, it's a powerful truth that we can rely on each and every day. One of the most profound aspects of Psalm 91 is the reminder that God's protection is not just about physical safety. It's about His unwavering love and commitment to His people. The psalm begins by declaring that He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. This phrase speaks to the intimate relationship between God and His followers. To dwell in His secret place means to choose to live under His care, to find refuge in His presence, and to rely on His strength. It's a beautiful image of being shielded by God's love, like a child protected by a parent's arms. The promise of protection is not something that God gives begrudgingly. It comes from a place of deep love for His children. When we face difficulties or threats, it is not out of obligation that He protects us, but because He cares deeply for our well-being. His protection flows from His heart of love. In fact, the psalm tells us that God Himself will cover us with his feathers, symbolizing the nurturing, protective nature of his love. This isn't just about keeping us safe from harm. It's about God actively showing us that we are his beloved, and he will go to great lengths to care for us. When we understand that God's protection is rooted in his love, we can rest assured that we are never alone in our struggles. His protection isn't just about avoiding harm. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, his love will always be there to cover us, keep us, and guide us through the storms of life. In times of fear and uncertainty, Psalm 91 offers a powerful reminder that God's protection is always available, especially when we need it most. Life can be overwhelming at times, and there are moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. Whether it's personal struggles, health issues, financial difficulties, or a global crisis, fear can quickly take hold of our hearts. But Psalm 91 encourages us to turn to God in those moments, trusting that he is our refuge and our fortress. The psalm is not just a prayer for when things are calm, but a lifeline during the storms of life. It speaks directly to the times when fear threatens to overwhelm us, reminding us that in the midst of uncertainty, we have a place to turn. The promise of Psalm 91 is not just that God will protect us when things are going well, but that he will be our protector when we are most vulnerable. It is in those moments of fear and panic that the psalm becomes a powerful tool for finding peace. When we feel like everything around us is out of control, we can take comfort in the fact that God's protection is steadfast and unchanging. He promises to deliver us from danger, to cover us with his presence, and to keep us safe from harm. Psalm 91 helps us to reclaim our peace in the midst of fear, offering a reminder that God's love and protection are always stronger than any threat or worry we face. It calls us to lean into God's faithfulness, trusting that he will guide us through even the darkest times. Faith acts as a shield, and Psalm 91 emphasizes the vital role it plays in our protection. When we choose to trust in God's promises, we are essentially wrapping ourselves in the security of his faithfulness. Faith isn't just about believing in the unseen. It's about standing firm on the promises God has made to us. In Psalm 91, we see that God is not just offering us passive protection. He is actively surrounding us with his care because we trust in him. This shield of faith means that no matter the danger or challenge we face, we can stand strong knowing that God has already provided a way through. The psalm tells us that God's truth will be our shield and buckler, which is a powerful image of both defense and offense. A shield is something that protects us from the attacks we see coming, while a buckler is a smaller, more agile shield that protects us from the things we don't see. Together, they show that God's protection covers us in every situation, whether we are prepared for the danger ahead or caught off guard by an unexpected threat. Our faith in him becomes the armor that allows us to walk through life confidently, knowing that no matter what comes, God has us covered. Faith doesn't promise that we won't face difficulties, but it assures us that we don't have to face them alone. Trusting in God's protection through faith allows us to face every challenge with peace, knowing that the shield of his presence is around us, guarding our hearts and minds. Psalm 91 assures us that God's protection is not limited to physical safety, but extends to all aspects of our lives, including spiritual and emotional deliverance. The psalm speaks about deliverance from not only physical dangers, but also from evil forces that seek to harm us. It reminds us that God is actively guarding us from spiritual attacks, whether those attacks come in the form of temptation, negative influences, or spiritual oppression. These dangers aren't always visible, but they are real, and they can have a significant impact on our peace and well-being. Psalm 91 teaches us that God's protection covers us from these unseen threats, offering us deliverance from the traps set by the enemy. The psalm reassures us that even when we are unaware of the spiritual forces at work around us, God's angels are encamped around us, guarding us from harm. This promise goes beyond just physical safety. It speaks to God's ability to protect us from the things we cannot see, the subtle spiritual attacks that can lead to anxiety, doubt, or fear. When we are vulnerable, when we feel weak, God's protection covers us in ways we may not even fully understand. We may face challenges that seem overwhelming, but Psalm 91 reminds us that God is our refuge, and He will deliver us from the evil that seeks to undermine our faith and our peace. In times of spiritual warfare, we can rely on His protection, knowing that He is with us, fighting on our behalf, and keeping us safe from every attack, seen and unseen. Psalm 91 is more than just a prayer for protection. It's a declaration of faith and trust in God's ability to watch over us every day. Each morning is an opportunity to affirm God's promises of safety and shelter, and starting the day with this psalm sets a powerful tone for what's to come. When we pray Psalm 91 in the morning, we invite God's protection into our day before any challenges or difficulties arise. It's a way of saying, "Lord, I trust you to be my refuge and my fortress today, no matter what I face." This daily prayer not only strengthens our faith, but also helps us to stay focused on God's presence and power throughout the day. As we face life's uncertainties, whether it's a difficult meeting, an unexpected challenge, or an overwhelming circumstance, we can hold on to the truth that God is with us, keeping us safe. His promise of protection isn't just for the big crises, but for the small moments as well, the everyday battles we face in our minds and hearts. By committing ourselves to prayer each morning, we align our hearts and minds with God's will for the day, and we are reminded that we are never alone. The power of Psalm 91 comes not only from its words, but from the act of engaging with it daily, allowing God to become our first thought as we prepare for the day ahead. This practice of starting the morning in prayer opens the door for God's peace to rule over our hearts, and it builds a foundation of trust that we can carry with us throughout the day. Daily prayer is not just about asking for protection. It's about fostering a deep, ongoing relationship with God. When we commit to praying each morning, especially with powerful prayers like Psalm 91, we're actively engaging with God and inviting Him into every part of our lives. Prayer becomes a moment of alignment, where we remind ourselves of God's promises and reaffirm our trust in His ability to keep us safe. It's in these moments of quiet connection that we find strength and clarity for the day ahead. We don't just pray to get through the day. We pray to grow closer to God, to deepen our trust in Him, and to prepare ourselves for whatever challenges may arise. The more we practice daily prayer, the more we tune our hearts to God's voice, allowing His peace to guard us in every situation. It's a practice that not only protects us physically but also spiritually, helping us to remain grounded in our faith. Starting each day with God sets the tone for everything that follows. It's a reminder that we are not facing the day alone, that God is with us, watching over us, and guiding our steps. Through prayer, we open our hearts to God's will, allowing His presence to lead us and giving us the strength to navigate the ups and downs of life with confidence and peace. Over time, this daily connection with God transforms our perspective and deepens our relationship with Him, making us more aware of His love and protection in every aspect of our lives. Sharing Psalm 91 with others is a powerful way to spread the peace and protection that we experience through God. When we share this prayer with friends, family, or anyone in need, we're not just passing along words, we're offering them a shield of spiritual strength and comfort. Many people are struggling, facing fears, anxieties, or challenges that seem too big to handle on their own. Psalm 91 serves as a reminder to them that they are not alone, that God's protection is always available to those who trust in Him. Just as we find refuge and peace through the promises in this psalm, we can offer that same refuge to others by sharing it with them. Whether it's reciting it together in a time of need, sending it in a message of encouragement, or simply telling someone that God's protection is real and available. Sharing Psalm 91 is a way to extend God's love and peace. When we share this psalm, we're not only encouraging others to trust in God's protection, but we're also building a community of faith that supports one another. By speaking these words of life into the lives of those around us, we help to create an environment where trust in God's protection and love can flourish. It's an invitation to everyone to rest in the assurance that God is watching over them, and it's a reminder to ourselves that God's promises are meant to be shared and lived out in community. The more we share the truth of Psalm 91, the more we invite others into the same peace and security that we experience. Living in God's protection every day is about more than just reciting Psalm 91. It's about making its promises a part of our daily lives. It's about believing in God's faithfulness, not just in moments of crisis, but in the quiet, everyday moments as well. When we trust that God is with us at all times, His protection becomes something we carry with us throughout our day. It means walking through our lives with the assurance that no matter what comes our way, we are covered by His presence. Each morning when we start our day with prayer, we are setting our hearts on the truth that God is our refuge, that He will shield us from harm, and that His love will guide us. But living in this protection means reminding ourselves of His promises as we go about our day. It's not just about waiting for the storm to hit. It's about knowing that no matter where we are safe in His hands. When challenges arise, instead of fearing them, we can stand firm in the knowledge that God has already gone before us. Living in God's protection also means allowing His peace to rule our hearts, letting go of fear and anxiety, and trusting that He is in control of every situation. It's an ongoing journey of faith, where we continually choose to rest in the assurance that God's protection is never fleeting. With each day, we grow in the confidence that He is always with us, that we are never outside of His care, and that nothing can separate us from His love. This is the life of living under God's protection, one where we walk boldly, knowing that we are covered by His power and His grace at all times. When we live in the protection of God, we also begin to realize the immense impact it can have on those around us. By embodying the peace and security that comes from trusting in His promises, we become living examples of His faithfulness. As we face life's challenges with confidence in God's protection, others notice the difference. We become a reflection of His love and care, showing others that they too can rely on Him in times of trouble. Sharing the truths of Psalm 91 with those around us isn't just about offering words of comfort. It's about showing them the reality of a life lived under God's care. Our actions, our calmness in the face of adversity, and our unwavering trust in His promises speak volumes to those who may be struggling. When we stand firm in the knowledge that God is our protector, we invite others to take hold of that same peace. Living in God's protection isn't just a personal journey. It's a communal one, where we help lift each other up and encourage one another to trust in the security that comes from Him. Every time we share the message of God's protection, we're offering hope to someone else. It's a reminder that no one has to face life's challenges alone, and that through God, we can all find shelter, strength, and peace. So as we continue to experience God's protection in our own lives, let's remember to extend that peace to others, helping them to walk in the security and love that only God can provide. As we come to the end of this reflection on Psalm 91, it's important to remember that the protection and peace we experience through these verses is not just a one-time blessing. It's an ongoing promise that God gives to those who trust in Him. Every day, as we wake up, we have the opportunity to reaffirm God's promises, to start our day with confidence, knowing that we are covered by His grace. The words of Psalm 91 remind us that God is our refuge, our fortress, and our shield. He is the one who will protect us from the dangers of the world and the unseen forces that try to harm us. By embracing this truth, we can face each day with a sense of calm and assurance, knowing that no matter what challenges arise, God is with us. His protection is not just for the big moments of life, but for the small, everyday moments as well. It's in our daily prayers, our ongoing trust, and our awareness of His presence that we find the true power of Psalm 91. So, let this psalm be a constant reminder that God is our protector and that we are never alone. We can walk confidently through life, trusting that He will keep us safe, guide our steps, and give us the strength to overcome any obstacle. As we continue to trust in His protection, we can rest in the knowledge that His love surrounds us and His promises are always true.